Good morning, Saintsman here. Sunday, the 24th of September. Yep, week in the life of. Back in the normal chair, not fishing. I can't give you too much excitement. Weather's pretty pants actually this morning, so just chilling out. Um, Last week, it was a bit flat. It was really flat last week. Yeah, we got my auntie who's really poorly, and it's things just not on it. No mojo. Like my wife says, she says you definitely lost your mojo. You are just going through the motions because lots going on, not work related, but we still did okay. Um, Monday, I got a job booked in. Let's go for the fuel prices first, which are going rocketing. The reason fuel rockets, UK fuels who I work with, they obviously work in bulk, and the price of oil per gallon is going like that. It's just skyrocketing. I think it's going up to it was about $100 a gallon or something. It's going that way. So fuel's going up. My cheapest fuel last week with VAT was 155, which has gone up dramatically. I mean, I can go back to August the 14th week, and my cheapest fuel was 147. So it's gone up 8p in a month, which is not good. But anyway, that's what it is. And it's gone up even more this week. I think I'm up to nearly 160 on the fuel with that. So, fuel again going up. Anyway, Monday, I didn't have a job. I woke up early, really early, and I got a message come through from a company I've been doing loads of work for, who had said the week before that the work, it tends to peter off, so there may not be as much work. But he got a job Monday, which was surprising. And I did. I started at 5:30, and I had two drops, one in Oxford and one in Wallingford. Oxford was John Ratcliffe, which luckily I had really good directions how to get to it, the actual centre in the hospital, and the other one was an agricultural dealer. So we got that done, and then we were looking for work, and we managed to get a job from Abingdon to Chesterfield, which was good money. So I got a good start to the week, really good start. And I got to Chesterfield and delivered that, and that was just one case. It was a medical case again for a hospital, which was a tricky one to find. It was an older hospital, but we got it done. And then we picked up a job from Mansfield down to Bedford, which was ideal. The only thing was it was picking up from a cement works, delivering to another cement works, and you can imagine it had been raining. It was horrible. So the van got filthy. You get it all on your feet, and it was picking up filters, three filters, which we got and we delivered to Bedford. So we had a really good start to the week Monday. It was good out. It was good. It was well over target, so it got me going. There weren't no work from where I've been getting the work from for the next 4 days because I just hadn't got the work, which is happens. And he said to me, he says, "Give us a bell the night before, and he'll text me if there's anything." But there weren't, and he's very honest, and he just says, "We just haven't got it, Dave." He says, I said, "No worries, just." And I'll tell you what, it was nice having the lay in. To be honest, it was like, well, so lay in, I get up at 7 o'clock. If I hadn't got the work, I do wake. I wake early anyway, but I'll go back to sleep. And I was getting up at 7 o'clock, and I managed to pick a job up, strange one Tuesday, from Oney to Oney, and it's to help a driver with an 18-ton lorry deliver a massive cabinet into a shop in Oney. And there was like five or six other guys, and it was just to help. And Oney's just down the road, so I got a minimum charge for that, which was good because I'd already booked in a job out of Northampton, picking up at 11 o'clock, and that was two drops, Watford and Boreham Wood. It was car parts, which is fine, and Boreham Wood's not too bad of an area if you can keep not go too far inside the 25. And we did that, and we managed to pick a little job up then from Hoddesdon to Letchworth, which again is going further north back. Wasn't a massive day, profitable day. There was three sort of one good job, two smallish jobs. I was under target by a good bit, but I only did 6.5 hours, and I just couldn't be asked. Like I said, I come home. We was visiting my auntie, and I just thought, you know what, just can't be asked. Let me just click that so it's just got on my screen. Don't know whether you can see it. Yeah. So I come home. I thought, no, sod it, I'm coming home, and I was home. Didn't start till 9:30, and I was home before 4. Although the time I got in the house and fancied around, it was 4. And Wednesday, I'd got a job already from Corby down to Newbury, and it was picking up residential going to Newbury. Uh, and everyone knows Newbury. It was going down to Striker, which dropping stuff off from residential address. And I got another job out of there going to London. This is where I had really good luck. I was going to a London hospital near Lord's Cricket Ground. I can't remember the name of the hospital, but it was near Lord's Cricket Ground. And it's right in the centre of London. And I picked that job up and took it to it was 6 striker cases. Used the sack barrow, managed to park. Luckily, the guys had told me where to park, right in the, right where it is, so you don't get nicked. And I took the cases in and come out and in the van, sorting it out. And a job, I was just looking for anything then. I'm in the centre of London. I'm thinking I'm probably going to get another job. This is probably going home sort of territory. And I've done good money, don't get me wrong. I've done really good money going down and really good money going to London, so I could afford to go home. And I had a quick look, and there was 27 jobs in London. And it's just all numbers and letters. But once you get the hang of it, if you're in that postcode, you've got to be in that postcode. And it was NW2 or something. I can't remember. But there was a job on there from the same postcode, so it's going to be very close. And it was going to Stanmore, which is not far, 11 miles, but it's distance, it's time. And believe it or not, it was picking up from the same hospital. And it was picking up, the contact was the same bloke I just dropped the goods off. So talk about no dead miles. So I quoted on it. It's still quoted quite high because it's just London. And yeah, I got the job straight away. Phone call went, and because I was there, it said how long before you get here, and I put 5 minutes. And yeah, it. I left the van. I went back in. I told the security bloke, "I'm going back in to collect something now." He said, "Yeah, I'll watch the van," and we did. We collected 3 of these items to go to a hospital in Stanmore, which was 11 miles north, and it still took me an hour to get to this 11-mile north. But we quoted pretty good money, not even my minimum, more than my minimum because it's London. And that got me over my target for the day. And I was going home anyway. Stanmore's by the side of the M1. It runs alongside the M1. I'm going home anyway. So that was a good day. Wednesday was a really good day. It was all hospital work, apart from the first job picking up residential, but it was hospitals after that. And then we come to Thursday. Thursday, again, I've got something booked in from Wednesday night, and it was not an early start. It was 9 o'clock pickup, and it was going from Wellingborough to Cambridge, and it was just a small job. Um, Pickup was, I think the pickup was 9:15. No, not pickup was meant to be 9:30, but he told me I could go in at 9:15, and it was going to Cambridge, and I thought, yeah, that'll do. From Wellingborough. Wellingborough's not too far from me, and quite good money, and got it. And from Cambridge, uh, I got a job from Saffron Walden down to West Drayton. This was where the fun began. I picked the job up from electrical wholesale type place in Saffron Walden. Again, West Drayton is Heathrow, essentially Heathrow, but it wasn't the Heathrow postcode, so I knew I hadn't got to go to the airport. But West Drayton is literally next to Heathrow. I quoted quite high money. In fact, I quoted very high money because there wasn't any vans around in Saffron Walden, and I was the closest van. And there was 2 jobs, and the other job was going to Kent, which I didn't fancy. I didn't really fancy going to Saffron Walden. I just thought, Jesus. But I thought if I get it for this money, and there's an old saying, only quote what you're prepared to do the job for. And I did. I got the job, and it was 3 reels of electrical, and it was meeting some riggers on a site. They was taking a mast down and replacing it or doing something. This is where the fun started. I quite really good money on it. And when I got down to the postcode, all I got to do is meet riggers. I got two phone numbers, contacts. I got down there, so I'm looking for a mast, which is normally easy to find, and it's right near Heathrow, literally less than half a mile from Heathrow. Could I find this place? I'm on the road that they give me. I'm going up and down this road. I did about 3 times. Let's phone the contacts. Both of them went to answer machine. Left messages on both. Phone the shipper to say, look, I'm on site. I'm on the address that's given, the postcode, blah, blah. He said, let me get back to you. He says, let me see if I can get back to you. I'll see if I can get through. So I sat tight, and then my phone went. It wasn't the shipper, it was one of the guys, one of the riggers. And I says, mate, I said, I'm trying to find you. I'm in the road. He says, mate, the postcode's completely wrong. He says, and the road. He said, we're about a mile from there. And he guided me in. He says, and I've been to near where this place was. And he says, it's in a field. I went, okay, which is, it happens. He says, you've got to go down this road, which was about half a mile away. And I put the road on my sat nav, got on this road, main road, right near the M4, right near Heathrow now, the bloody planes are going. And he says, you've got to do a left at this dead end road, which looked like it was a tip. And at the end, there was a gate which was shut. And it looked like it was, but it wasn't bolted. And I've got to go through this gate where there was about 20 horses, and they'd laid a track so vehicles didn't sink in the mud, like a temporary track up to where the riggers were. And the reason I couldn't find the mast was because they took the mast down with a bloody great crane, ready to put the new mast up. Oh, I was on it for 3/4 of an hour to an hour finding them. And he says there's no problem. He said some people haven't found us. He said we try and get them. He said, at least you found us. Going up the track, it was approximately over half a mile up this temporary track, up this thing. There's wild horses, gypsy horses, all in the field. It's a massive field. Aeroplanes going overhead. It was an experience, a definite experience. And I got to them and I delivered it. 3 reels, they were happy. They took this huge mast down. Jesus. And the crane had actually, when they took it down, it actually lowered his crane because they weren't going to put the new mast up that day. It was such a big job. So I couldn't even see the crane from the road where they were. But hey, we got it done. And I phoned the shipper up and he says, fantastic. He says, I really appreciate that. And fair play to him, he put 20 quid on the job extra. I didn't ask for it. I just said, it's been a right pain. I said, but we've got it done. I said, I've never failed a job yet, ever. Well, I broke down once. I couldn't do it when I blew the turbo, but even then, we managed to get the job done. Uh, yeah, but all good. And that was delivered. And yeah, shipper gave me extra 20 quid. So I appreciated that. And that gave me good money for the day. It gave me really good money. And couldn't get nothing back from there. I sat outside this field, down this lane, not right by Heathrow, and I was quoting money to places, and it was nothing. I got as low as 65p quoting to go north, and jobs were going. And I thought, I just drove home. Just drove home. And I was home by 5. I did 8.5 hour day. It wasn't brilliant money. Didn't hit target, but I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna try it. I just can't be bothered anymore. So we did, and I got to be out that night anyway. We were visiting my cousin, chatting about my auntie and all this. So we had a real sort of we had to get back. Had to be back by 5:30, 6 o'clock anyway. Friday come, and I got a job. I'd got a job booked. Again, I'd looked at the feed and I knew there was no work coming out. The contact, he told me there was no work coming out this week. He said they just died for the week. And I managed to get a job quite early, pick up, and it was 8:30 pick up, and it was going to, no, it was 9:15 pick up, but you could be there earlier. I got there, I left at 8:35. and got there. It's only 10 minutes up the road, quarter of an hour. Thought I might be able to get it a bit earlier, and I got it all by 9 o'clock. It was 3 drops on Friday morning. One in a village south of Birmingham, which was one item. The second drop was Manchester, right in the centre, and I mean right in the centre, in a boulevard, right in the middle of Manchester, which I'd done before. And I remember the park, you didn't have to get down the boulevard, you could park at the end and go in the side door, and it took you into the building. And the third drop was 2 miles north of the centre, 2 miles from where I was. And it was 3 drops, and it was good money. It's a risk on Friday to go to Manchester because I weren't going to be in Manchester till about 1 o'clock, 1:30, and then I'm coming home, and I've got to get home as well. I've got to be home. I was looking at it was grandson's 7th birthday, and they're little doing his mum. They've put a little party on, more for adults than kids, and it was on at sort of 6. Got to be there sort of 6ish onwards. So I knew I hadn't got a lot of time, and I've got to try and find a job back. And I got the job done, 3 drops, no problem actually at all. The Manchester Central one, I mean Manchester, it was chucking it down the rain Friday, absolutely horrendous, and traffic comes to a grinding halt. But we got the job done. Got the third one done. It was a residential. It was a flat, and found that parked outside. And there was a fair few jobs in Manchester, mostly going to Leeds or north, and I'd got to go south. And there was one on there from Manchester going to Wixton, which is South Leicester. And I thought, that's my job. I need to get this job, really. Get my petrol money home. And it was 100 odd miles. And I quoted low. I'm going to be honest with you. I quoted getting home money. It was like, I think I quoted 67 pence a mile to get home. That's what it is. I got really good money going up. And I got the job. He phoned me up. And I got the job. And it was a good job I took that job because I left the feed on. And it took me 3/4 of an hour because it was near Manchester Airport, one box. And there was nothing else going my way. There was a couple going, one going to Birmingham, one going to Willenhall, but they were a little bit further away. They were Bolton pickup and wherever. So it was the only really job. But I managed to get it, and it was one small box going to a residential address in Wheatston. So we picked that up, and we drove down, and the M6 was knackered getting towards Birmingham, but luckily you cut across Stoke-on-Trent, the A50, down the M1, and although the weather was rubbish, we got that delivered quite quick, and we got it done. I was there just before 5, and dropped that off, and I was 20 miles from Kettering, which was ideal because I went straight to my daughter's for the party, for the kids' party. So I ended the week quite well and over target that day. So we did 3 days over target and 2 days under target, so it sort of leveled out. But again, I hadn't got the enthusiasm. That's what I hadn't got. Mine was a bit everywhere last week. But the job was done, and total 1,358 miles in 5 days. Did 44 hours as my wife just got out of bed. It's great, isn't it? Straight through. She'll come back in a minute. Look, she didn't come back now. Look. But she just got out of bed. It's Sunday. It is half past 8. 35 hours driving and £943. So it was only 50 quid short. That's before VAT. Add the VAT on, it's 1131, 60 pence. Take off the 10% for the flat rate, and it's 113.16. So it worked out £1,018 and 44p. So we did get over, which is what I'm after every week now, to get over. Worked out 203 a day, £203.68 per day. So pretty good. And the average was lower than the week before. It was, I was 91 pence last week. It was down to 75 because I had a bit of dead miles. But it's still not a bad average, 75 really, for a small van. Knowing my costs per mile, it's not too bad. So, next week, I've just got a 4-day week. Monday, the van is having a new timing belt and water pump and the antifreeze, what goes with the timing belt. Darren's having that first thing. So I'm not working tomorrow, and then we've got 4 days. Hopefully, get plenty of work. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I had a couple of questions. I can't remember who sent me. One question was, can you do this? Can you run on the CX part time? No. There's no other thing to say. No, not a hope. And the obvious reasons are the costs, your costs of insurance, subscriptions, everything else is always the same for full time, part time. So that's pretty much a no go. In fact, even full time, if you've got a mortgage, like I've said before, you've got mortgage, family, expenses, finances. No, I'm lucky. I'm at an age, I know I don't look it, but I'm 60. I'm at an age where I've got a pension that's come out and it tops up my money. And I think it just about, you've got to enjoy driving and enjoy what you do, because if you do it for the money, I don't think you're going to be in. It's not for you. Really isn't. The bigger the van you got, probably the more money you can take, but the more it costs for a bigger van. So yeah, at the moment, I don't think it is, and it's coming to a time, you end of the August, end of September, where work should be okay up to Christmas, I think, but then you got next year where the first 2 months, no. So anyway, 948 subscribers I've got now. Wow, look, she don't want to be on camera. Look, there, I've got. Look, there she goes. Very shy, my wife, obviously, but I've got her going across the floor. That'll up my subscribers, that will. So, 52 more for 1,000. That's what I need. That's what I was going to say. Oh, it's mad. Anyway, I hope you have a rest of the weekend good. So, I'm not working tomorrow. Um, no fishing. No fishing tomorrow. Weather's turned. Uh, even the motorbike. I put one of the motorbikes. I wintered it yesterday. Drained it and just put it in the shed. It's got a trickle charger on. That's put away for the winter. This is the bike I'm going to sell March, April next year when the weather's nice. It's still going up, and yeah, we're going to sell that one and keep the silver one. But yeah, I'm rambling now. Anyway, thanks for your subscribers. Any questions, I do try and answer them. If I don't answer them, it's because I haven't seen them. I'll try to have a look at it, and back at it next week. All the best.